Would you turn that racket down? I'm trying to earn here.
It was months and months and months in the creation of the look for Edna. Tony, the makeup effects guy, had to create an Edna that not only could walk around in the streets and really look like a woman, but he also had to create different suits that accommodated different physical needs for the character, because this character needed to dance a lot.
All those aspects present a lot of challenges to us in regards to making something where his moves will translate through it, and it'll still look like human anatomy moving and not look like he's wearing a bunch of pillows stitched together around his stomach. This is what we started with. We did a full head cast of John and started designing the character on this. We knew right off the bat that the makeup was going to need to cover his entire head, just for the sole purpose of hiding his 5 o'clock shadow. We sculpted 6 different looks of Edna. We took the original sculptures to Adam, lined them all up in a row and said, hey, what do you think of these?
Like 8 different fatness possibilities of John's face. I kind of go, jowls are too big here, and maybe the chin's too small there, and I think the cheeks could be a little more apple-y, and I mean, it was like crazy.
We got his feedback and then designed it and broke it down into a multi-piece makeup so that we could control how it went on, how the pieces overlapped, and how it would move. And we took that first makeup to John's house so that we could get his feedback. At the same time we did the makeup test, we actually took the prototype of the bodysuit. And John, in looking in the mirror, had an immediate visual reaction and an immediate opinion on some of the forms.
I decided that she was a hot tamale in her day, and she was very voluptuous.
He's like, what if she was more of a Rubenesque hourglass? Let's soften the shoulders, curve out the body. How curvy can we get it and make it work on a 6-foot-tall frame? And it turns out pretty curvy. Anything masculine pretty much went away.
Oh, Miss Maybelle, you do throw a lovely party.
We wanted it to be a believable person. It was a real human being, and it was a woman. So we actually had a starting point that we could go away with and refine. We were able to kind of all meet in one place very early on, sort of this whole Team Edna, and figure out what Edna was going to be. In order for us to create Edna, we separated all the pieces of the face into individual sections. We made molds of those, and this heavy silicone material, we injected this into the molds. And from those molds, pulled out the appliances, the pieces that would go on his face. This is his right cheek, this is his left cheek. This is how it comes out of the mold. We pre-paint it with a red undertone to make it look more lifelike. These are the cheeks, the right side and the left side of his face. And then this is his upper lip piece. This is his chin.
It was 5 hours of latex on the face and blending and pieces.
Once John's in the chair, we start with the neck piece. This eliminates his skin texture and gives us the extra weight underneath his jawline. It also gives us a little more mass on the sides of his neck overall. And then from here we start building up the face. We add the cheek pieces, which is really the entire side of the face. It goes from the cheekbone back to the ears, all the way up to the base of the nose. Once these pieces are glued on, then we would add the chin piece that blends off into that, the upper lip piece that blends off into that. We've encased him from the eyes down, and we've completely colored him from his hairline down. Then he moves down a chair to Yolanda, and Yolanda puts the wig on. The wigs are always pre-styled. Then he has the bodysuit, which breaks down into the legs, the hips, the torso, and the arms. He goes into a harness, sort of like a backpack kind of harness, that has connection points around the sides. Then we slide on the foam legs, hooks and snaps, connect to the waist belt that he has on. Once these are on, we have what's sort of known as the butt pad, and then these hip pads. Then the upper body goes on. These are his foam arms. These are really lightweight. His arm slides into that, and it actually connects to the bodysuit through the series of hooks and snaps. He literally slides into that. That big neck flap gets pulled out and put over top of it. Then it's closed up in the back. Once he's to that point, the body's together, and then the wardrobe goes on over top of that. There's a lot of maintenance, there's a lot of repairs, there's a lot of wear and tear. He's doing a lot of physical activity. We've got 3 full suits and 6 pairs of legs and 6 pairs of arms. They go through a process of being cleaned and washed and dried. And we have a drying form that actually has forced air into it. And we can fit a blow dryer in here, and this netting is open all the way up. And we actually force hot air in it. It's kind of the only way we can dry the skin and have it not deform and change its shape. Everything has to be prepped for the next day. It's a huge process. We're one of the first people in, and we're definitely one of the last people to leave.
But Ma!
Don't test me, Tracy Turnblad. My doll bill's wearing off.
I sort of had an idea what he was going to look like, but I had no idea how he was going to inhabit it. He flew into the room and started singing and dancing, and I just was like this.
On film, at first you go, oh, that's John, you know. But then once you're into it, you just forget that it's me, and you just ride this trip with this very large woman.
We hope that the end result ends up being something that everybody else goes, wow, that Edna, she's really cool. And they forget all the work that went into it.